And we are back here at the live stream. The Hunger Games start now. That was an intense thing to say. I have Javi Lopez here with me. Javi, I'm so happy that you're here and you're taking the time before we go on a lunch break. And I want to talk to you. So you have built a company that has been highly successful. Guys, this is exactly what his t-shirt says. He is the co-founder of Magnific. And I don't know about you guys, but Magnific saved me so many times. I don't know, I think I know Magnific as long as I do Midjourney. When I started Midjourney, I immediately went to Magnific to upscale my images. So I have so many questions for you. And let's start with the question about where did you come from before co-founding Magnific, and how did that come about?
Well, thank you first for the interview. It's amazing to be here with you.
I'm excited.
I'm so happy that you are a super user of Magnific, because
Yes.
before this we were talking about it, and you know all the parameters, the light, the upscaling, the mystic.
I know my Magnific.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm happy for that. So I born in a small city in Spain. It's Murcia, near Alicante, Granada, that are more touristic places. And we run Magnific from there. So only 4% of our users are from Spain, but we built the startup in Spain, and more than 60% of the users are from America, of our users.
Oh wow! So basically, it looks like it's an American company, but it's not.
Yeah, that is something like that. We have
Interesting.
American clients.
Yeah.
Super pro users, usually professional users, but we build and run the startup from Spain without any VC investment or business angel, no money at all.
So you bootstrapped it completely?
Completely.
So how did you have the idea of creating Magnific?
Okay.
What was the moment?
Wow.
The inception point?
Yes, it's something that was slowly coming into mind. It started in 2022, April, with DALL-E 2.
Yeah.
When many of us went into generative AI, because DALL-E 2 was the first time you said, "Whoa, this technology is amazing," no? That astronaut in a horse, riding a horse in the moon, just with natural language, and it will pop up in front of you, that image. I was like, "Whoa, this is not the future. This is the present that I've been looking for and waiting all my life." So I went into it like going directly to that pool. So I was like 1 year playing with everything related to generative AI, from Stable Diffusion to Midjourney, of course, DALL-E 2, and Disco Diffusion, PT Tool, whatever, you name it, all the
whatever
tools.
you could get your hands on, you just tried them out. Okay.
That is. And luckily to me, I had a lot of time, because I was in a gap year after selling my previous startup. So I have all the time and the passion to find things. But I wasn't looking to build a startup. I wasn't looking to create a product. I was just playing and explaining it and sharing the thing I was finding in Twitter, mainly, Twitter and LinkedIn. So I started to grow an audience, but with any objective, just because really I was passionate about what I was doing.
Yeah.
But later, in retrospective, having that audience was very useful for Magnific.
This has come up so many times now, that you need to build a brand and you need to build an audience. And you have been very successful with it. You had a couple of really viral hits out there. How do you get viral?
Good question. Because
What's the recipe? Tell me.
I don't have a magic recipe. I think nobody has it. So there are certain things that I like, and I always think that everything that I'm going to do is going to get viral. I always think that. It doesn't.
You're trying.
It isn't true.
You want to, right? You want everything to go viral.
You just create things you like.
Yeah.
You post them to your social network, and luckily, maybe some of them will get viral.
Do you now afterwards see the pattern of which ones went viral and which ones didn't? What did you learn from that?
Narrative, storytelling.
I love it. Yeah, storytelling is key. That's the most important thing. I agree with you 100%.
Yes. For example, my crazy holidays with AI. You know that video?
Yes.
That went super viral. So it was
I know
just
all of your videos.
a video of our holidays, but I mix it with, so I did a remix with generative AI. So, for example, I was near the sea. I was jumping and then flying and whatever. The things right now we are used to see because everybody is doing that.
Yeah.
But in that moment was super new. It was like the first viral thing.
So timing was important when you posted it.
Always.
So you try to be one of the first ones to get it out there as soon as possible, or did you take your time?
Sometimes it's true that it's stressful, that you want to be one of the first, but that time it wasn't like that. It was like, oh, what about if I mix my holidays with AI and I create a narrative around it? Because I could have posted it like, this is my videos of holidays and I created this with AI, but I didn't say that. I created a narrative. The narrative was, the storytelling was, I wanted to do an auto edition of my videos with AI, and I think I'm going to have nightmares for life. So the storytelling is stronger. People were laughing like, whoa.
You're actually engaging the audience. So what do you think about all of these sci-fi trailers that are coming out a lot? Like that might not have a story.
Which ones?
Like there's so many on the internet that are just, trailers or non-really narrative pieces. Are you also consuming them? Or are you strictly, I am, as a storyteller, I only consume something with story?
I try to get exposed to as many things as possible. And there is a term for that when you create something with AI and it's not very good. It's AI slop,
Yes.
But I like
so
AI
much.
slops too, so everything.
Okay, so we're still very open to all the AI stuff that is coming out. Okay, going back to Magnific, and I kind of want to talk about, so you said before Magnific you had another company that you founded. So you're a serial entrepreneur, you're a serial startup founder. Was that something that you wanted to go into, or it just happened?
It just happened.
Like, were you a 6-year-old boy saying, I want to be a startup founder?
It just happened.
It happened.
Like I was in that year exploring all the things related to AI.
Yeah.
We found a workflow like that for me was impressive. When I have locally a local version of Magnific, and I saw for the first time that upscale of original image, then creative upscaling. That term didn't exist. I didn't know that we were creating a new kind of upscaling. The term creative upscaler came later from the community.
Yeah.
But for me, it was amazing. It was, wow, this is the original image, and this is something new.
Yeah.
But creative with some hallucination from the AI, but amazing. And I was like, with the slider, oh, wow. And I knew in that moment that if that was amazing for me, it was going to be amazing too for the community around AI and designers working with AI, etc.
Did you intend to have this creative change in image with the upscaling, or is that something? Was it a byproduct that just happened based on the parameters that you had? It happened.
The creative thing or the hallucination thing just happened.
That's fascinating.
In fact, I was trying to do a boring upscaler, like
it's like I just wanted the same simple plain thing.
Yeah, very similar to the original image, and all the time was this hallucination and creative thing were popping up from my brain.
Yeah.
And I was, and then one day I said, but maybe this is interesting for a lot of people, and let's build the product around this thing that maybe is something valuable and not the opposite. And it was.
People love that. People love if the tool creates an extra layer of creative addition onto their images. Yeah, and that's probably also part of the success of Magnific. So you've had now 2 successful startups. You got acquired by FreePick. Now, how was the transition for you from being a founder, being your own boss, to working in free pick with your product
baby.
being integrated.
With our baby.
With your baby, yes.
It's nice because Joaquin Cuenca, the CIO of FreePick, is very smart.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of entrepreneurs inside FreePick. For example, the CPO, Omar, also came from building his own startup and selling them to Facebook, for example. So he's used to work with this kind of profiles that want to have freedom, like Omar or like myself. And he's giving me a lot of freedom to me and to Emilio, my co-founder.
Yeah.
So he said, keep doing what you are good at and keep pushing. Like if it was still your own company.
Yeah.
And thanks to that freedom, I feel like it's still my company. Because it is in a way.
That's beautiful. I think but is that rare? When you step into a bigger company, is that rare that you still feel like you have your own company?
It depends on how they treat you. If they doesn't give you the freedom, and then maybe you will feel like, what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
But if they give you the freedom to do almost whatever you want, then you keep pushing.
That's
and
amazing.
You're happy.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, okay, let's talk to the guys that are watching here. Now, let's say there's somebody out there that wants to start a startup, and they see you here, and they're like, oh my God, this guy has done 2 startups, both successful, sold. How do I get there? What is an advice that you can give to this person that is somehow practical?
No magic recipe. There is no general heuristic that you can use one time and another to be always successful. Otherwise, I will be pushing 20 startups at the same time, and all of them will be working.
Fair.
Or I will write a book.
Yes.
So I was lucky, for sure. Luck is a huge parameter in everything that you can not control, and you have
But
to be
what
lucky.
was luck? Was luck timing and work?
Having the audience already in Twitter without knowing. I was building a channel, creating a new kind of upscaler. When I didn't know, I was creating a new kind of upscaling. Having the right partner, as my co-founder.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Super difficult.
How do you pick that?
Super difficult. Emilio has been my friend since the secondary school, and we built together also the previous startup. So I know him very well.
Yeah, so you knew you could work together.
Yes.
So how did you, when you did the first startup, how did you decide to work with each other? Did you work together before in some capacity? Because sometimes friends, when they work together, it does not work out.
A lot of time doesn't work.
Yeah.
With Emilio, we were not working together, but programming video games together, and doing a small project just for fun.
Okay.
And I know him very well, but of course, you never know until you really work with someone in a professional way.
Yeah. 100%.
And I feel, again, lucky to have found Emilio, because like I told you before, sometimes I think it's more difficult to find your professional partner. It could be even more difficult to that finding your sentimental partner. You know.
You said it's much harder to find a business partner than your husband or wife.
Could be. It could
Which
be.
is hilarious, but it makes total sense. Yeah. No, because you have to align on so many things. You have to align not only on values but also business strategies and where you.
Values is the most important thing. But of course, after that. Your partner has to be as you passionate about what you are doing, smart, of course, and professional. But the most important thing for me, I think, are values.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, I want to pivot a little bit. So, I heard that Magnific was used in Here, Robert Zemeckis movie with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright. Tell me more.
I remember the day someone, Kevin Bailey, wrote me a DM in Twitter. Hey Javi, we are using Magnific in one film that is going to be directed by Robert Zemeckis, and and the actor are Tom Hanks, and I was like, yeah, of course. I thought it was a joke,
spam. Yeah.
a joke, or spam, or something. And then I went to LinkedIn, looking for Kevin Bailey, the VFX person that was in charge of this.
Yeah.
And I saw it. Oh, it's a real profile. It's his real profile in Twitter. Wow, this is real. This is real, incredible.
Yeah.
So amazing. O sea, it was like a dream come true. So you are building a small startup from a small city in Spain, and from the other part of the world. And 3 months after you launch it,
3 months.
People from films, Robert Zemeckis, one of my directors, like from Back to the Future films of all my life, is using it in their product, in their film. Sorry, I was like, wow.
That moment when you realized that it was real. What was the moment? Where were you, and what happened? Like, did you? I mean, I don't know what I would do. I would probably either dance of joy or just be completely like, what? I don't know. What's going on?
I was showing the DM to Emilio, and look at this, Robert Zemeckis, look at this. And I write a DM to Kevin Bailey, and I told him, can you say hello from Javi from Murcia to Robert Zemeckis? And Kevin said, yeah, of course. And later, 10 minutes later, Robert say hi to you. And you go, wow, incredible.
Oh, that's lovely. Isn't it crazy that nowadays you can get contacted by social media, and you've never heard of the people, and they're just reaching out, and it's a legit project, but you kind of question it because it seems too easy.
Yes.
But that's the new form of communication. It's like, obviously emails, sure, but also social media. I have one question from Anna Ramon. I got your question, so I am following up on my promise to ask the question. She's asking, do you think there will be more or less creative jobs in 10 years? Take your time. It's a tough one.
Big question.
Yeah.
I think there will be more.
I like that. Why?
Higher layer of abstraction. Like, you will need less skill that you need today. Like, you won't need to be a super expert in Photoshop to create something. You won't need to be a super expert in Adobe Premiere or whatever.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things will be done like this, thanks to generative AI. So I think there will be more creators, more people that know and have good taste and knows about storytelling that will be able to create amazing things.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, I feel like the age of the generalist is what we're in right now, and the more the tools are getting developed and evolving.
But the competition will be impressive.
That is true. That is why, going back to what you said earlier, storytelling is so important. There will be more and more and more AI filmmakers and creators, but there will be just, a handful that have incredible storytelling skills. And that, I noticed a lot of the great storytellers that I'm following, they have a traditional background, right? They have editing skills or writing skills, or they just know how to construct story, and that will still be very, very relevant.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Javi.
Thank you.
This was such a wonderful talk. I would like to go on more and more, but I know you want a lunch, and I want a lunch, and you guys might also want a lunch. So we'll meet in a little bit again. For now, we're going to go on a lunch break.